Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take the sources you send us, dive right in, and pull out the key takeaways. It's basically a way to get up to speed on interesting stuff without drowning in information.
And today, we're stepping into the world crafted by Evie Woods in her novel, The Lost Bookshop. We've got some excerpts from the book itself thanks to one more chapter at HarperCollins Publishers for those.
Right, and we've also got the cover image, the one with the bookshelves and that little house, designed by Lucy Bennett, plus some background on Evie Woods, and even a recommendation for another book, Shauna Robinson's Must-Love Books.
So our mission for this deep dive, if you like, is to really explore these snippets. We want to uncover the main themes, maybe get a feel for the characters, and see if any mysteries start to emerge.
Okay, let's jump in. Characters and setting first.
Sound good? Let's start with Opaline. It's clear right off the bat she's a book person. Deeply. Her most precious thing is a first American edition of Wuthering Heights.
Which her father found for her, right? At a Camden flea market.
Exactly. And there's this little detail the book says it's by the author of Jane Eyre, which is, quite telling about how things might have worked back then, trying to ride on Charlotte's coattails, maybe.
But for Opaline, it's not about that mistake. It's the wear and tear, the smell of cigar smoke. She calls it her time machine. It connects her to the past, to her father. Seems he hoped it would make her studious, but her imagination was stronger.
Definitely. Then, shifting scenes, we meet Martha. She arrives in Dublin. It's damp. She's heading for this red brick Georgian house on Halfpenny Lane. She doesn't have much money.
And you immediately get the feeling she's running from something. There's this numbness, a pain in her ribs. Even the bus driver seemed to notice. She wants to leave a difficult past behind her.
Yeah, a really strong sense of needing refuge. And her arrival is a bit strange, too. She's meant to be providing a fine dining experience for breakfast, then falls asleep in her wet clothes. Very disorienting.
And then there's that encounter at the window. That's quite intriguing.
It really is. This woman appears pale skin, pink cheeks, but a black eye hidden by her fringe, and a huge tattoo on her back, tiny script, like words.
Wow. And Martha has this passing thought, doesn't she, about a missing bookshop.
And the woman just slams the window shut. Total fear. It immediately sparks questions. What's she afraid of? What's this missing bookshop?
So two very different women, different places, but both seem to have these secrets, these hidden depths already. And given the title, books are going to be central, right?
Absolutely. You see it straight away with Opaline. Her love for books starts shaping her actual life path. She's in Paris by the Seine, bright sunshine.
Nice setting.
And she spontaneously buys a first edition, Baudelaire's translation of Edgar Allan Poe's Histoires Extraordinaires.
Ah, and didn't you say her father was a big Poe fan?
Yes. So for Opaline, it feels like more than just a purchase. It's like a sign, a connection.
And that leads her somewhere significant, doesn't it?
It does, to the legendary Shakespeare and Company. Yeah. Even though the entrance is cluttered with boxes, she feels this welcoming vibe. Inside, there are English-speaking women, American and French accents.
You can just picture it. The window display, all those colorful books with fascinating titles, like a magnet for someone like Opaline.
Totally. And it works. Sylvia Beach, the owner, sees something in her, she calls it flair, and offers her an apprenticeship right there.
Just like that.
Pretty much.
Cool.
Low pay, long hours, obviously, but the chance to learn the trade, meet important people. Opaline is speechless at first. Sylvia apparently wasn't one for sentimentality, though.
But Opaline shows she's got a brain, too, not just passion. She asks a smart question.
She does. About authenticating old letters. How do you know they're real? And that's when Sylvia sees her potential as more than just staff, maybe a literary sleuth.
And finds out her favorite author is Emily Bronte. It really starts to flesh out her character, doesn't it? Her interests, her mind.
Yeah, her path seems set, very much tied to the physical world of book selling and collecting. Now, Martha, her insight is different, more internal, almost psychic.
Right. This is fascinating. She realizes she can sense what people are thinking or feeling, even if they don't say it. Like Madame Bowden's fear of, losing her mind, or her own mother's hidden pain.
And the English guy outside her window being in love with someone called Isabel.
Exactly. She thought everyone could do this, but nope. It's just her, a gift. Or maybe a curse.
That's the big question, isn't it? Especially because this ability completely failed her with her husband. She couldn't read him after she fell in love.
And that led to violence. Okay, so that's the past she's escaping. That makes sense. A huge drama.
Definitely explains the numbness, the need to run. And we see her struggling in her new life, too, like at the library.
Oh, yeah, the library scene. She doesn't even know how to get a library card. It really shows how adrift she feels.
And And the librarian seems so resentful. There's this little detail suggesting she used to be a dancer, maybe. Adds a layer of, I don't know, faded dreams or something to the scene.
But then Henry steps in.
Yes. He sees the whole thing and actually takes Martha's side against the librarian. That feels important. The start of something.
Meanwhile, back with Opaline, there's Armand. He's trying to woo her.
Very romantically, apparently. Lots of deep feelings, though Opaline seems a bit cynical about his cliches. But he insists it's real, another developing relationship.
But the connection between Martha and Henry seems to move faster. They share a drink.
It leads to a kiss, a close embrace. There's definitely chemistry there.
But Martha's head is still full of the past, isn't it? She feels guilty thinking about Henry because of what happened with Shane.
It shows how complex things are for her. She sees Henry as different kind, passionate about saving lost things, attractive even. But she can't believe he'd be interested in her.
She thinks he's just interested in the bookshop.
That's what she suspects. That insecurity runs deep. You can really feel the impact of what she's been through.
Things seem to be moving along, relationships forming. But then things take a darker turn, particularly for Opaline.
Yeah, quite abruptly. She suddenly flees from Madame Rousseau's place when her brother shows up with this guy called Bingley.
And her brother's acting weirdly cheerful, over the top.
Exactly. And Bingley's just kind of looking her over, appraising her. It's creepy. There's a real sense of threat.
Which is confirmed almost immediately, right? She's basically forced into a hotel.
Against her will. She says she needs to work, but they just dismiss it.
Yeah.
And then Bingley makes this toast to our future while she's secretly planning how to get away.
Yikes. Okay, definitely a dangerous situation there. What about Martha and Henry?
Their situation seems less immediately dangerous, more complicated. They have this nice moment exploring an old part of town, cobblestones, history.
And Martha's surprised Henry likes that sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe she had a different impression of him. Then they visit this place, a dark room with ancient manuscripts.
Oh, the manuscript. From 800 AD Columban monks.
That's the one. And seeing it is this really profound moment for both of them, like connecting with something huge and ancient, beyond easy understanding.
And it affects Martha quite deeply. She nearly breaks down.
She does. She hates empathy, apparently, but she accepts a hug from Henry, a moment of vulnerability, of connection.
Which is then immediately shattered.
Instantly. His phone rings. It's Isabel.
The woman the man outside the window was thinking about earlier.
Well, maybe an Isabel. But this one, Henry awkwardly reveals, is his fiancée.
Oh, wow.
And he proposed right before he left for Ireland.
Terrible timing for that revelation, so Martha just has to. So congratulations.
Pretty much. Forced congratulations. You can only imagine the disappointment, the confusion, really throws a spanner in the works.
Definitely complicates things. But despite that, there are shifts happening. Henry goes back to London.
And notices things are better at home with his mom and sister. But Ireland, and specifically Martha, has stuck with him. He has this realization he needs to go back.
And his sister jokes about him dodging diaper duty.
Yeah, a bit of light relief there.
Yeah.
But Henry seems serious. He's also still digging into Opaline's story.
But not finding much.
Very little about her, just her 21st birthday notice. But her brother, plenty. Military career, nicknamed the Reaper. Ominous.
Very. And this lack of info about Opaline makes Henry think, what?
That Martha is the key.
Yeah.
That somehow she holds the answers about Opaline and this lost bookshop he's becoming obsessed with.
And speaking of bookshops, Martha gets involved with one herself.
She does. She takes over Mr. Fitzpatrick's nostalgia shop. Ground floor, bow windows, Art Nouveau sign. Sounds lovely.
And he offers her a trial rental, including the basement flat. A chance for a fresh start.
A real opportunity. And the place itself has character. That staircase.
With the words painted on the risers. In a place called Lost, things are found strange. Very atmospheric.
And the story behind the shop, too. Mr. Fitzpatrick's father built it using wood from an old Italian library. It's steeped in bookish history.
It sounds perfect. But then, the basement flat.
Yeah. That discovery. She finds branches growing inside.
Yeah.
Spreading across the wall.
Branches, like from a tree.
It seems so. It's unsettling. A bit surreal. Like the building itself is alive or haunted or something strange is definitely going on there.
So putting these pieces together, we have Opaline and Martha, their lives running parallel, maybe decades apart, maybe not, both deeply connected to books, maybe the same mysterious bookshop.
And these developing relationships, Martha and Henry, Opaline and Armand, Opaline and her brother Bingley's situation, all full of secrets, Potential danger, complications.
The mystery of the lost bookshop itself, Henry's research, Martha's strange ability, the growing branches, lots of threads.
Definitely. You get these glimpses, these fragments, but they weave together to promise a really rich, intriguing story.
Absolutely. So many questions linger, don't they? What are the big secrets Opaline and Martha are hiding? What is the lost bookshop, really? How do their stories actually connect across time?
And what was Martha escaping? What's the deal with Henry's fiancée? What manuscript was Henry really looking for? It pulls you in.
It really does. These excerpts definitely give you a taste of something potentially quite captivating. If this deep dive has piqued your interest, you really should check out the full story in The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods.
Find out how all these threads weave together.
And hey, if you prefer listening, the audiobook is available. We've put a link right there in the description for you, so you can just dive straight in and let the story unfold.
We hope exploring these snippets with us has given you some food for thought, maybe a few surprises along the way. Thanks for joining us.
And we'll leave you with that phrase from The Staircase. In a place called lost things are found strange. What lost things, maybe parts of themselves or bits of forgotten history, might these characters, and maybe even you, find? Something to think about.